you have it on?
We're going to do a podcast right now.
Is it on, the camera?
Yeah. Okay. Hello, welcome back everyone to Museum Diaries. We're doing a podcast, Veronica and I, and this is what we go through. So we're going to start recording. We're using Logic Pro. We're going to start recording here in a second, and you'll get to see what this is like for us when we do a podcast, and we try to do one every Sunday. So here it goes. Put on my headphones.
Okay, I'd like to also add that everything is askew right now because we're still remodeling up here. And, you know, we've got 101 things going on, so bear that in mind and forgive us for being a little haphazard. Okay.
Okay. Welcome, welcome everyone to Jax Corner. I'm back, and I'm back with the Duchess.
Well, hello, hello. It's so good to see you again, Jackie, and to be with your audience. Hello, guys.
Great. It is Monday, take that back. It is Monday, March 22nd, 2021. We normally do a podcast on Sundays, but this Sunday we had too much on our plate, so here we are, Monday, March 22nd.
And glad to be with you. There's a lot going on. One of the things is that Jackie and I had a meeting. In terms of the podcast, it's her corner, and she and I agreed that the content of the MC was too graphic and not appropriate for her channel.
The last two podcasts
it's being removed, so excuse us, but
yes.
That was, we tried, but you know, you live and learn, so we'll be reading more of Sister Me and some other things. But for today, Jackie's topic is
depression.
Depression.
Yes.
Scary.
Yeah, so we're not doing the mutilated cutter. It's a little too graphic, a little too intense, we feel, for people. And if that's ever made into a movie, you can follow up there.
Follow it then. But until then, the issue's closed. So.
Yeah, we're going to keep going with next week, next Sunday, we'll be back with more Sister Me stories. But today, I want to talk about depression because this is something that I believe most of us experience. And it's a terrible rut to be in when you wake up and you feel like, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to do anything. I don't like the way life is right now. This sucks. You know, just looking at the world around you and how everyone hustles and is part of this rat race, the thought of that and being a part of that is so depressing to me. That's too much to handle.
What I find depressing is that aspect, but also that people are terrified that they can get this horrible virus, COVID, and now they have 3 new strains that have come out of Europe. There's a lot on everyone's plate, you know, whether we catch it or our children do or our loved ones, or it further affects the economy and
well, COVID changed
it's just
everything
been hell for everybody.
Everyone.
Yeah, the whole world has been suffering.
And I think
it's hard. It creates depression in me.
I think it's definitely brought more people to depression because you can no longer socialize, or not so much socialize, but continue on with some of your routines you might have, or just the thought of getting away from home for a little bit.
And just feeling relaxed that you know every day, you know, you got a roof over your head, you've got food, you know, you're financially fine. And that's the way ideally life can be. And then to have that taken from us where now, you know, we can't just breathe the open air. We can't just go out to dinner, go to a movie. That isolation is just horrendous on all human beings, not just us. But for me personally, Jackie, that's what I would say. That the depression is like two sides of a sword, and the isolation on top of just the regular depression, and that everyone around me seems to be depressed because all the businesses have had to close and bankruptcies and people worrying about rent and unemployment, and homelessness in Los Angeles has really skyrocketed. It's really not good. We're having homeless people all over the country.
Yes,
and we've got to come up with a solution
grown.
here. Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, there was a man that, I don't know if I told you this, Jax, but there was a man on TV, and he was on a show talking about how he's building 2,000 of these. They're for homeless people. It's got a roof, it's got a door that you can lock, it has a window, it has its own toilet, it has an eating area, but it's really tiny. It's like maybe 8 feet by 5 feet. It's really small, but he compacts everything. And the idea is for this house to be self-sustaining wherever it is. So if they park it at a park and then the park changes their regulations and says
they
no,
can move it?
Then they'll be able to move it. Well, here's the problem. We had some of them erected a month ago around Venice Beach. And I watched the film footage, unfortunately, and it showed the kind man, he was just a kid like in his 30s, how he had got these donated supplies to make 2,000 of these homes. And he was going out giving them to the homeless. He was stopped by the police, and they told him it was illegal, that he couldn't do it. Then they confiscated his home, one of them. And I haven't been able to see the update of what that situation is, but I think that's wrong. We need to change that law, because if people can survive in smaller homes, then let them. Don't make them live on the streets. That's barbaric.
True.
So I really think that we need to come up with housing that for people that don't have jobs, people that are ill, people that are immigrants, children. We need to be making homes for these other people that can't afford to have homes of their own.
Right, and they don't have to be expensive homes.
No, not at all.
Can be done,
just
can
workable.
Be sustained,
yeah,
as it's been proven by other people.
Yes.
Tearing these houses down is not a good thing, because then you're putting these people back on the street, which means more trash, which means more crime, probably
more disease. Just more danger.
Right.
And it's just inhumane to turn our backs on our neighbors. That's how I see it. So I'm all for our government and our communities helping the segment of the population that is struggling. And it doesn't make them bad or different. It just means that they're between a rock and a hard place. But
right.
For the blessings of God, we're not the ones that are there, because it could be us.
Something,
and that's real.
When I think about that reality, I realize I have so much to be grateful for instead of depressed.
Me too.
Because there is homelessness. It's all around us. It's grown. It's increased. It's almost on every major block. You can see it. You can see traces of it. You have shopping carts. You have clothing items that are sometimes piled up, and tents. So it's pretty obvious. It's
It's painful.
And for these people to have to
painful.
survive every day, God knows how, if they're surviving out there, they more than likely don't have a job.
And they're illegal immigrants, some of them. So they can't get a job. They can't apply for food stamps. They can't get any kind of help. So we need to come up with a solution, because we have hundreds of thousands of them all over Los Angeles, and it's getting worse. So we need to just be humane. And I just think that, but for the grace of God, go I, any of us, because we could all be in that situation. But the luck of the draw, you know what I mean? It was just the luck of the draw that we have met the people we've met, that we've had the relationships we've had, that we've had the prosperity that we've had. And now Jax and I are in a real comfortable position, because we're partners and we share this home, pay expenses, that kind of thing. It's pricey, huh?
Yes. We're actually considering
renting this out.
Renting out the master bedroom of the house, because we haven't been able to. COVID not only shutting things down, shut a lot of businesses down and travel, but Veronica loves to travel. And that's something she hasn't been able to do in a couple of years. Ever since COVID really hit the world, everything got kind of put on hold. And like she said, a lot of people went out of business. So this has affected everybody. But renting out the room will allow us to have that additional income to not only help pay with the mortgage, but be able to have that additional income to save to travel.
Yeah, well, we're good with our income. Between she and I, we're able to float this. Our bills are high, but we manage. And then we are doing our business together. building it from ground zero, learning every step of the way. We have so much to learn.
Every step of the way.
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
neither of us have the answers, and you have to search them, you know, and
Yeah,
it's a long process.
I do a lot of searching on Google and YouTube lately.
Yeah, every day.
Trying to incorporate everything we learn, come together, our two brains, and see what we come up with to move on to the next step.
Hey, we come up with some wonderful
And
stuff.
so on. We do.
I love working with Jax because she's such an excellent collaborator and she's so brilliant. And she's one of those seemingly quiet people. But boy, when she opens her mouth, is it profound. That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not of many words, but the podcast is allowing me to open it more. And of course, our YouTube videos on Museum Americana, which are Museum Diaries on YouTube, Museum Americana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely allowed me to open up more because I'm not usually one of many words. And that's pretty much how it is when I'm in public. I tend to be more introvert.
So I have a question, Jax. Your topic today is depression, and I was wondering if you wanted to address certain parts of depression or how it's affecting you or others.
Well, it's pretty obvious how it affected me. Not wanting to be productive, not wanting to help contribute with things that need to get done around the house, just not having the energy to do it or the motivation to do it, just feeling in this funk where, you know, I'm not worthy of much. You know, why would I get up and do this or do that? You know,
That's depression. That's depression. I had the same problem.
Yeah, and you just kind of feel numb.
Yeah.
There's this numbness that comes with depression where you can't feel that spark.
And even
that
your prayers,
motivation to
prayers feel
get
like
up
they're going to an
and
empty
do
room.
something.
Have
Right.
you noticed that
feel
when
like
you
you're-
pray, it's
yeah,
like,
sometimes you feel like you're talking to yourself.
yeah, like it's just an empty room.
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
But we know that's not true.
No.
God works miracles. I've
Yes.
seen God work miracles. I've seen God work miracles in my family. I've seen Him work miracles in people's lives. So I know that our prayers don't just go out into, you know,
They definitely have an energy,
our
they have a
environment
vibration,
inside the walls.
they have a color,
It
and
goes
it
beyond
emits. It emits. And yeah, it is. It goes way beyond that because all of us are alive with this remarkable spiritual energy that is really the breath of life. You know, without your spirituality, you really don't have the breath of life, I think. To know that when you pass this body, it's not over and it's going to be good. You know, instead of having fear, and I don't have fear. This is just like we're going through the birth pangs of leaving this realm. You know, that's what this life is. It's the birth pangs of getting ready for the other.
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you about those birth pains, though. They really sometimes bring you out of these really tough cracks, you know. You feel like you're metamorphosizing into one area of your life into another, and life is a combination of these metamorphosis stages where you're learning, you're growing, you're becoming,
Evolving, metamorphosizing.
yes, evolving. So there's beauty in that.
Absolutely. But painful nonetheless.
That too.
Yeah.
I mean, you having served 23 years in prison, that's painful. That's,
Oh, I was thinking more of the
That's a lot.
butterfly. I was thinking of the butterfly in the cocoon, how it has to bang its
Flutter its wings.
inside of the cocoon, and that's what I was thinking of. It's like, that's a hell of a struggle, and they have to do that because we're talking about metamorphosis.
Yeah.
And it made me, you know, go to what it's about. And yeah, those beautiful caterpillars, you know, they're locked inside of this silk web that they can't get out of, and it's a protective sheath that is designed like, just like we have uteruses and to house an embryo and all of that stuff, right?
It's like its own placenta,
Yeah, it is a placenta,
the
exactly.
caterpillar.
Absolutely.
And it turns into this beautiful, perfect butterfly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It does.
And sometimes with many colors or
Yes,
wing patterns.
But before they can even get there, remember what it's like. They're inside their cocoon, and their wings are.
Right.
They have to hit
developing.
their wings against. Yeah.
And to crack the shell.
Membrane.
I'm sure they would have to stretch their wings enough to crack the shell.
That's a pretty remarkable journey for life, isn't it?
It's not even a shell. It's to crack their cocoon.
I know. It's amazing. But in the process of cracking that, it strengthens their arms for the butterflies, you know, the wings. Mm-hmm. It's pretty beautiful.
Yeah. So that's what depression was like for me. I'm doing better now. I do take medication, which helps. And I did miss my dose for a couple days there.
That's not good. You can't.
I noticed, and I just got caught up with the inability to do for myself, to really stay on course and stick to my routines. I just kind of just fell under that and missed 2 doses, and then I ended up feeling more depressed. So I said, you know what, I gotta
take your meds.
I gotta take my meds. Yes. I have to stay on course,
even
though, you know, we may not going out anywhere to movies or restaurants or clubs or anywhere. We still have our life here at home, and we have to take care of our babies.
Responsibilities.
We have responsibilities. The house has to get cleaned. The yard has to be taken care of.
Hey,
the kitty needs affection, so does Lucky.
Can I talk about how we saw the kitties?
And then we got to talk about, this is next, yes,
okay,
about
great.
the kitties.
Okay, tell them the story, please.
Well, I have this app on my phone called Nextdoor, and you can pretty much communicate with your neighbors around your neighborhood, and people put up things for sale. They put up posts of lost or found dogs or cats. All kinds of different things that you would want to put out in your neighborhood. So this woman saw our video on YouTube on the passing of Zeus, and she felt so broken for us that she reached out to us and said, my cat is pregnant and she's having kitties any day now. Would you like to take or, you know, adopt one of the babies or more? And I said, you know what, I talked it over with Veronica, and she sent us pictures of the mother, who's this beautiful white and gray cat.
Beautiful
we said,
cats.
with some stripes, and we said, yes, and the babies were born on March 14th. They haven't opened their eyes yet, but I took Veronica with me to go see the babies a few days ago. So what was that like, Veronica?
Oh, it was remarkable, but you left one important part out. The part that you left out was that she had already decided she was bringing a kitten home to me. So that, let's get that straight. What a perfect present. And it was like the most heartwarming gift that I've ever gotten, because I couldn't have had the courage to get a new Zeus or to try to replace him. But Jackie thought beforehand and said, she needs this to heal, and it'll help. And I never would have done it, and it really was the elixir to bring me back to life and out of the Great Depression that I was going in. And Jackie and Artemis and Lucky, because we're all missing Zeus. He was an integral part in our lives, someone you hang out with hours and hours every day, you know. Anyway, so yes, she had thoughtfully, she surprised me and said, I'm getting you a new kit, and it was like, what?
And it's...
Oh my God. So she took me to the neighborhood cat that she got on that video link that she's on, and the mother is just lovely. She's white with some black spots, and we actually were able to see the father and the uncle and see the babies. And I selected one. It's the lightest one because they don't have all black. So I wanted, you know, Jackie had said, well, what if Zeus comes back as the white cat? And it was like, wow, because he was all black.
Yeah. He was all black. And they have 2 white kittens, but one is like ultra white.
Yeah, so that's the one that I'm choosing, and his name is Maximilian. I would have named him Zeus, but I thought better of it, and I thought that's going to confuse the babies like Lucky, Artemis, because they're used to Zeus being a real thing, a real living, you know, one of them.
Our black cat, Zeus.
Yes. And they
not all of a
loved him.
sudden a white cat, Zeus.
Yeah.
That's gonna.
So that's
eventually, we
why
thought we don't want to do that to them.
it could be traumatic, and every time we say Zeus, you know, they're going to react, and they do. You know, Artemis is grieving. That was her man for years, and he courted her, and remember that?
Oh yeah, that's
Anyway,
how that all started.
That's how
the
it all
adoption.
started. Yeah.
Zeus would come to our yard to court Artemis, and Zeus wasn't neutered. And Artemis was spayed, but she didn't care. She still flirt. She would act like if she was in heat sometimes.
Yeah.
And then she'd come running back to the house like she got herself in trouble.
Right.
And then, you know, we adopted Zeus, and then Zeus eventually started fighting off these cats that would come.
So all
after
these
her.
other cats left the property because Zeus protected her.
Yeah, so
And
now
she loved it.
we don't have the male cats now roaming around the yard like before.
So Jackie's
After
getting
Artemis.
me the white cat, Maximilian, and I'll call him Max for short, so none of the family gets upset, you know, hearing Zeus's name, because he was so big in my life. And if he's big in my life, everybody around me knows about it. I love the animals I love and the people that I love, and you know, it's all I see. Anyway,
so we're gonna do a video once we get closer to picking up Max.
yeah,
Or when we do pick him up, we're gonna do a video and introduce Max to you guys on our YouTube channel.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that pretty much is it. I want to kind of wrap this up, Veronica.
Good.
And just kind of say thank you for listening to this episode. We hope you've enjoyed it. It's a little different. I particularly really enjoyed it because I like talking about open things, and I know that we want to do Sister Me, but every once in a while I think it'd be good to have this kind of podcast. I take a break from Sister Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so about the mutilated cutter, just one more time, that if you're interested in that, hopefully one day you'll see it on a movie screen.
But until then, we're not releasing anything, so sorry, and sorry we even opened up that door.
Right.
My apologies.
Well, thanks again, and we'll see you next Sunday here on Jax Corner with the Duchess.
Love and peace out, you guys. Take care.
Okay, that was good.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys, this wraps up our podcast. This is how Veronica and I podcast when we do. We try and podcast every Sunday, but this is it. This is it. We'll see you guys on our next Museum Diaries. Peace out and bye for now. Say bye, Veronica.
Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Camera.
Bye-bye, guys.